Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, hello, this is Jim Lawyer here. We're on OhioRAAM Show, the show about ultracycling and all things RAM. This is show number 352.
And we are here by the cause of the good work of all the people here in Ohio who man the time stations. Oh, I should say staff the time station, yes. Jim.
Definitely.
24 hours a day for 5 straight days during the race across America, 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, 43 in Chillicothe, where Jim operates. And actually, Jim has had a hand in getting all these stations up and going the way they are. Thank you, Jim. Thank you all who work in those time stations. Definitely. And Jim, you've got some news for us tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, basically we've got a little bit of news. First, we'll do some RAM news, some sad news, I guess. 2 of the people that we know that have had on the show quite a bit, Jen Orr and Chris Hopkinson, have decided not to go for 2021 because of logistics. They'll be back in 2022, though, going strong and going for the wins. We've got some upcoming world records also. First one will be Joanna Sharp. Starting February 1st, she's going to do the Long White Ride, which is a ride from New Zealand, the northern point of New Zealand to the southern point. It's 2,100 kilometers, which is for us Americans 1,305 miles. And it has about as many hills as RAAM, and it actually includes a short helicopter flight to get across the strait between islands. Interestingly, the men's record is held by a 2019 RAM rookie, Craig Harper, at 4 days, 9 hours, and 45 minutes. She plans to be done by the 5th, and they're writing to encourage people to learn about the signs and symptoms of bowel cancer. You can dot watch on her site, the Long White Ride, co.nz, and we'll put that in the show notes. And you can also donate to the cause if you want to. The next one, Chris Hopkinson, is attempting the 1010 kilometer, which is 627 mile record in 24 hours. He's going to start that February 6th at 8 a.m. GMT, and it's actually going to be done on virtual Zwift, and it is for the World Bicycle Relief. And hopefully we'll be doing a couple of special reports during the attempt and have them on. I know they won't be talking because they're going to be pushing hard to get that done. And I believe Spiegel Bikes is also going to be live streaming the event for probably 16 or 17 hours, so you can check it out there too. And we'll have that in the show notes too. We're going to run a little promo for Hopkinson and the team, and here it is. It'll be a great time, and you can also join them for the first 240 kilometers on Zwift if you're part of that. Just look for the event on the 6th. And since I'm newbie at this news stuff, I didn't show Joanna's slide, which is right there. One bike, one woman, 2170 kilometers nonstop. So It'll be a great time, and she's going to do a great job.
Yeah, and we look forward to all that. By the way, I put my World Bicycle Relief shirt on here.
Awesome.
I love this shirt. World Bicycle Relief is one of the favorite charities of this show. We have so many charities. We got 3 great ones tonight, but we love this particular program, and we'd like to do anything we can to support it. Hey, Jim, we'll put the World Bicycle Relief link in the show notes.
Definitely.
Don't expect them tonight yet, but we'll get them in there tomorrow or the next day. And I guess you just go to the store there or something. This is a great shirt for $25. It's got 6 pockets in it. It's a wonderful shirt, and it helps support a great cause. We love this charity. And so next week on the show, we're going to have none other than Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is a eating person. He has an eating championship at the Tour de Donut, 48 dozen, and he is going to be on the show next week at 8 o'clock on Saturday evening to talk about his charity for Guinevere, his wife, who died of a particularly rare form of cancer. Interestingly enough, it was the same cancer of which my own first wife died of. Strangely, strange connections. And how he eats all that. But we're not going to talk about eating. We're going to talk about RAAM 2021 because he's going to do a solo ride for his foundation. So with that, Jim, do we have anything else before we get busy here?
I don't think so. I think we hit all the news that I knew about so far today.
Okay, so I want to introduce to you, Jim, Judy Stutz, who has been on the show before and is with the team ensō Cycling. Judy, why don't you introduce the other team members one at a time here, and we'll get to this.
Sounds good. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Judy. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
So I'm Judy Stutz. I'm from Springboro, Ohio, and we have an exciting year this year, of course, with RAAM 2021, and have the 4 of us have come together. And so first I want to introduce David Cox. David is also from Southwest Ohio in Bellbrook. And then we have Mark Dinkins. Mark is also from the Springboro, Ohio area. And we have Doug Sellers, who's also from Springboro, Ohio.
Awesome. How is everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
All right. We'll start out with Mark since he's up there big screen.
Yeah.
What got you involved with the team and wanting to do RAAM 2021?
Oh, well, Doug just gave me a call, and I had been cycling with David and Doug for years at Psychologic. And
Yes.
Doug gave me a call. I was like, would I be interested in RAAM? I was like, absolutely. Sounds awesome. So just very happy that I was asked and part of the team.
That's great. Have you been doing a lot of training? Any specialized stuff, or just relying on your ability to ride that you've done in the past?
Yeah, a lot of indoor training right now, of course. And I've been to a lot of camps with Doug and Dave, and just putting in the miles in the summer. So.
Awesome. Do you have any special plans coming up before RAAM? Any events that you want to talk about or anything?
Well, we'd love to do a spring camp, hopefully soon, and go down to Tennessee, North Carolina area, and do a lot of climbing. And that's what I really love is the climbing part.
Wow, so you're the climber of the bunch, huh?
David would be the climber, but I don't know, maybe. since I don't do PT well or descending, I have to be a climber.
There you go.
Mark
awesome.
likes to stay stealth a lot. He definitely is
Gotcha.
one of us. He is a very strong climber for sure.
Outstanding. I guess we'll go to David next.
Hey, before we go to David,
Okay.
thank you for all putting your comments in there. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, well, you're on one or the other, just go to the comments section, type in your comment, and we'll try to get to you. We see a lot of people here, so please let us know you're here.
Definitely.
Okay, Jim.
You want to bring David up for me? Since I'm the rookie and don't know how to do that. There you go. Hey, David, how are you?
I'm okay, Jim. How you doing, man?
Very good. Kind of same questions. What got you involved wanting to do RAAM? How long have you wanted to do RAAM?
Well, I tell you, after a friend, Joe Lawhorn, I think you guys know pretty well, did his solo
Yes,
attempt.
definitely good.
I pretty much had, and I saw him, I think it was probably just a little bit before midnight coming through Oxford. And I pretty much made up my mind at that point that there was no way I was ever going to do anything like that. Until Judy approached me about doing it. And I one of the things I had to confirm with her that it was a point to point, and that it wasn't an out and back, or it wasn't doing loops for 24 hours, because no sane person goes in any geometric shape, circle, square, rectangle for 24 hours. As long as she could assure me that it was going to be a point to point, I said, I'm in.
Definitely, that sounds great. What's your longest ride so far that you've done?
Well, I think all time, my longest ride, I went out and did Lodajo, which was, I think it's billed as, I think it's the oldest and it's the longest single day USA cycling, race in the country. But it was from Logan, Utah to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it was right around, I think, 208. So.
Gotcha.
And then I did the RAAM Challenge when it was in the first year when it was in Dublin here.
Dublin, yes, definitely. Excellent. Do you have any plans to do anything special before the RAAM starts, as far as any events you're going to do?
With COVID, that's a good question.
Definitely.
So I mean, besides organized events, that's a big question mark. But I mean, I think that the camps, getting out of this area and going to where there's maybe a little bit more elevation, is definitely on the docket.
Gotcha. Being in Ohio with all the wonderful weather we have here, do you do a lot of indoor training, or are you primarily outdoor?
I've done more this year, and I think it's just because I'm getting old and crotchety that I've spent more time. I did a Fondo today outside, so
Gotcha.
I got to do those real miles, right?
There you go. Exactly. Well, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and bring Doug up, Lee, and get his comments and see what we can do with him.
Hi, guys.
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Outstanding. Kind of the same kind of lines. What makes you want to do RAAM 2021?
I've actually been thinking about it for a number of years, looking at ways to do it in different teams and different people, and things. When Judy approached Dave and I, things started lining up more than they ever have, and it's really, and it's continued to do so, and it's really got me more and more excited about doing it every day. So, but it is definitely something that's been in my thoughts for a number of years. So.
Outstanding. Do you do a lot of your training indoors, outdoors?
I would say I do more outdoors. I travel a lot for my work, and I carry a bike with me, so I get the opportunity to ride all over the world. And for the last 6 or 8 months, I've been choosing warm places, and so that's a lot of riding.
Smart man. Definitely.
I get a lot of riding. I don't really enjoy the trainer very much now that the Ruby platforms and Strava or Zwift platforms have gotten better. It's easier, but I really like the outside stuff much better.
Yeah. Definitely. Nothing like going outside.
Yes.
Do you have any plans for anything special coming up before RAAM?
No, I mean, like Dave said, with the COVID, stuff of, many of the races and events not working out. I think I'm looking forward to doing the camps that we want to do, some training rides where we take a couple weekends and just go for 24, 48 hours with the crew and kind of set up like we're doing a RAAM. And fortunately, where we're located, we can go by and see you guys and go on the route and actually do some real navigating and going through the technical things that we need to do. So.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for that comment and those comments. I guess we'll get to the instigator now. We'll go to Judy. Hi, Judy. How are you?
Hi, Jim. I'm doing well.
So it sounds like you're the instigator in all this.
A little bit. This kind of came up, oh goodness, I'm going to say the end of 2019, it came up. I was approached to be on a team, and it was talked about 4-person or 8-person team. And as it went on, some of the people that were mentioned to be on this team were Doug and David and some other people on. So it was always in the back of my mind. Well, I had some things come up in 2019 that changed my life. And so kind of everything was put on hold for me. And then as 2020 approached and, springtime came and I was doing well, it was always still in the back of my mind about, a team, doing a team RAAM. And we already, I had crewed for a 2-man team before. And so I was thinking 2-man versus 4-man, and I knew David was totally in to do RAAM. So David and I talked about it. We were going to talk about it and meet, and we decided just to meet up for a ride. And so what we did, we met up for a ride, and it was David, Doug, and I ended up, and as soon as they pulled in on their bikes, rode their bikes there, we met up. And as soon as I saw them, we were all just like smiles. I mean, it was just like, uh-oh, now what, So, and it was kind of like I knew Doug had always wanted to do RAAM as well. And so it was just kind of like the perfect fit. And we had gone through who would be a good 4th, who would fit in the team. And they both knew Mark personally. They had ridden with him for years. And so they talked with him and here we are, the quad, all 4 of us together.
That's awesome. You guys seem like you gel well together and can make a great team for this. That's awesome. Lee, do you have any questions for any of them?
Well, we want to talk a little bit about the charities they're writing for, and I do want to give a shout out to Chuck Smith, who's in here. Chuck Smith's the chairperson of the Ohio Bicycle Federation and been on the show a number of times in a number of different ways. And we're glad to see him. Chuck always has something to say, and we're glad to have him here. Judy, let's start out with you since you're up here. Tell us a little bit about your charity. You are yourself a survivor of thyroid cancer, I believe. Talk a little about that and what you're trying to accomplish.
So my chosen charity is the Thyroid Cancer Survivors Association. And as you said, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Incidentally, I had a bike accident in September of 2019. And that bike accident, when I broke my ribs and injured my shoulder, I had some x-rays done that showed some nodule in my chest. And I got a CAT scan, but the CAT scan happened to show not only my chest, but my thyroid. And so the primary nodule was in my thyroid, and got it biopsied and was cancer. So in 2019, that was, what I went through. And then going into 2020, just this last year, had the radiation treatment. And going through what I went through as a cyclist, as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, I was surrounded by so many people who loved me, who cared about me. But I still felt alone.
I felt like I was going through it alone. So the Thyroid Cancer Survivors Association has so many resources available to not only the patient, to the survivor, to those that are fighting through it, but also resources for physicians. Because there are some challenges. I mean, I work in medicine, I work in family practice. I have a lot of resources for, other physicians, friends, family, specialty, but I still felt alone. So having the cancer resource there and a society that supports the patient through it, start to finish, it's just something that I became passionate about. And it was definitely something that I wanted not only to raise funds for, but actually to raise awareness for, because thyroid cancer is not very well known. And knowing that there are multiple types of thyroid cancer and of how the different treatments, the different stages, just different things like that. But it became, a passion, and I don't share it a lot, but this was a platform where it gave us a greater purpose than just riding our bikes. It's something we really want to do, but there's got to be more for it for us. And that's why we do gel so well. We all find a greater purpose. And for me, this was part of it. And the guys, totally embraced me and embraced that as well.
Okay, very good. Now, let me just say quickly that we have links to all these charities on the show website, OhioRAAMShow.com. And you can go there and find links. We didn't try to put them up here because some of them are quite lengthy, but just go to OhioRAAMShow.com and you'll find the show there, 352. And there'll be a link there to each one of these charities we're going to talk about. Now, next, let's see, I'm going to do it this way and bring in Bob. Well, I got David up, haven't I? David, you and two of you are going to talk about the next charity, but I forget which two.
David and Doug.
David and Doug. Well, we got you up there on top, so good.
Yeah, so the charity that Doug and I chose was the Gary Sinise Foundation. If you remember the movie Forrest Gump, he was Lieutenant Dan. The actor Gary Sinise started a foundation about 10 years ago that was set up to benefit active duty military, veterans, and first responders. And one of they've got several programs, but one of the things that they do that is near and dear to our heart is that they provide adaptive homes or they adapt existing homes for disabled veterans who have come home with the physical scars of war that has made it difficult for them navigate in their home. So instead of them having to adapt to their home, the home adapts to them. I think there's so much that we take for granted, and just getting around our own homes that they have difficulty with. They also have a program that's serving heroes, where they go all over the world to serve meals and through food and fellowship, support our active duty military. They also have strategic partnerships that help with the mental health issues, for returning, active duty military and veterans and first responders, the substance abuse issues and things like that. And really it's about the reason why we love our veterans, our active duty military, and our first responders is because we hear that verse at weddings, out of 1 Corinthians 13 about love is patient, love is kind. But one of the things that where it stops, at the wedding, that it picks up for us and really describes the passion that we have for our active duty military, our veterans, our first responders that we rely on in our country, is the fact that at the end of that chapter in Corinthians, that Paul wrote, he said that love always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it always perseveres. And that is why, the the military, you know, active duty military, the veterans, the first responders always protect us. They always persevere. And, you know, we can never do enough to show our thanks for that, but we can always do a little bit more. So this is why, you know, we encourage everybody to go to the Gary Sinise Foundation.org and make a donation and help do great things that they do for the people that we depend on.
Definitely.
Very good. You have anything to add to that, Doug?
No, I mean, everything he said, I feel 100%. And another program that Gary Sinise has is the Snowball Express, which then takes care of the families of those fallen ones that we have. So it's not only taking care of us as veterans and all those that have gone through things, but it continues to take care of the families as well for the same reason. And I'm just, everything about the foundation is I'm so passionate about it all, and very happy to be able to you know, get the awareness out and get people to help out.
Okay. Well,
Thank
let's go
you
back.
too for your service. Definitely.
Yes,
Thank you.
we do that.
Thank you.
And let's go back to Mark here. Tell us about the charity that you're sponsoring.
Yeah, it's the Stephanie Spielman Fund for Breast Cancer Research. And I actually knew Stephanie growing up. So I remember still to this day when I found out that she had breast cancer, you know, on the news, it was shocking, especially knowing someone that young with that disease. You know, typically it's not a very, you know, it's a tough diagnosis. But, you know, Stephanie was an amazing person, very confident, optimistic person. And she turned this around with her husband, Chris, at the time. And they came up with the Stephanie Spielman Fund. And to this date, they've raised over $22 million for breast cancer research. And that money goes toward Ohio State for the research that's done there. And I think the one thing that's really critical that she really promoted was early screening through mammograms, and the new technologies that are coming out. And it's very near to my heart because my wife is a breast cancer survivor, and I've had other, you know, very women that are very dear to me not survive. So I very much appreciate you know, the people that have contributed to that fund. And, you know, I have an amazing team around me and people around me, and very much humbled by the people that have supported me in doing this.
Well, you've got some wonderful charities there, and we hope that people will go to your links and drop a few dimes on you. They're out there pushing something really important. I think there's hardly a family I know of that hasn't been touched by cancer in some way. And once you have had that in your family or you've had it yourself, it brings a new dimension to it all, that's for sure. So you can learn more about these charities and donate to them. Go to the OhioRAAMShow.com there at the top of your screen, and you'll see in the show notes links to these charities where you can donate. We hope that you earn a whole bunch of money, guys. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you at all of our time stations.
Yeah. And with that, good luck to all of you. It's great to have people right here in the Miami Valley again, Jim. So many.
Definitely, yes.
This year, Ohio's really showing its stuff. So who did we lose here? Somebody. Okay.
Mark.
I'm losing
Doug.
Hey, Lee,
Yeah.
if I'll tell you, one of the things I'd like to do, you know, real quick before we go, is I'd like to thank, you know, our families. A lot of them are, you know, are going to be crewing and supporting us on this trip, and those that aren't are supporting us, you know, back home. And if it weren't for our sponsors, you know, Morgan Stanley, Curtin Maritime, and K&G Bike, providing us with the operating funds for us to be able to do what we do and contribute, you know, the bulk of what we do to, you know, to the charities. You know, we really thank them and appreciate
our family and friends and charities, our family, friends, and sponsors actually they are providing us this opportunity to raise funds for our charities. And otherwise, this wouldn't be happening without the people that surround us. And we are very thankful.
Well, from the amount of comments we got, you got a lot of friends out there. And we're laughing because Jim and I were both trying to do the same thing at the same time.
Yep, same
and that's
time.
why Doug was coming and going. Jim and I both have the same buttons, and but we're remote. So that's just one of the crazy things that happens here. So, Doug, we weren't trying to...
Not sure why I just ghosted away there.
Yeah, you're okay. And
It's like
Chuck,
me on Ruby.
there's so many people, and Ruth, I just wanted to she made a comment here. I don't know if it got posted or not. One of your crew members, I think.
Ruth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ruth,
right here.
did we
I
get
got
her
it.
posted? Yeah.
There you go.
Ruth, we're glad to see you here. I see her all the time on Facebook, and we're glad to have you with us. With that, guys, I think, Jim, we've got a great crew here. We're happy. We're glad. When you get to Ohio, you know you're home, and we will have a warm welcome. And I'm sure a lot of your friends will show up at one of our time stations here to urge you on.
We'll have an extra special welcome at 43 for you.
Yeah. Well, at all of them, I think.
Yes.
And with that, Jim, we're going to say goodbye. See you next week when we'll have Yasser Salam on here, Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time in your time zone. When you see that published, it'll show whatever the time is in your area of the world. And be sure to hit that reminder button and make sure that we're liked and subscribed to and what all those other good things are. And with that, Jim, we're going to say goodbye.
Outstanding. Thank you, guys.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.